Why the hell do we exist? To go through the motions, bounce between moments of joy and dread, and then just keep going until we die? Most of us don't even want to deal with this question. It's messy, uncomfortable, but Leo Tolstoy, he didn't just deal with it. He fought it, wrestled it into submission, and came out the other side with an answer. Hey, rockers! Let's dive into the man, his crisis, and the truth he uncovered. One that could change not just how you see your life, but how you live it. Are you ready to rock? Let's rock that wisdom! So, who was Tolstoy? A literary badass for starters. The guy wrote War and Peace and Anna Karenina, novels so iconic they redefined literature. He was swimming in cash, worshipped by fans, and rocking a beard that could start its own fan club. Basically the Russian equivalent of a rock star. But here's the twist. By his 50s, Tolstoy had it all. Wife, 13 kids, yep, 13, and enough money to swim in it Scrooge McDuck style. And yet, believe it or not, he was drowning in despair.
What's the damn point?
He called life a cruel joke. We chase success, pile up achievements, and then, poof, it's all erased. And for what? To end up 6 feet under like everyone else? So, how does someone go from crafting literary masterpieces and living like a rock star to questioning if life's even worth it? Let's rewind. Imagine a young Tolstoy, rich, reckless, and living like the flawed hero of one of his own unwritten stories. He gambled away his inheritance, drank like Prohibition was coming back, and seduced enough women to inspire a porn novel. He even joined the army, fighting in the Caucasus and the Crimean War. Fast forward to his 50s, Tolstoy's got the dream life. A massive estate, legions of fans, and a family that could double as a small village. On paper, it was perfection. But instead of living it up like a legend, he paces around his mansion like a caged philosopher on Red Bull, asking,
Why does any of this matter if I'm just going to fucking die?
The crisis wasn't just existential, it was personal. He struggled with his marriage, doubted his own writing, and even clashed with the church he once believed in. This wasn't just a bad week. This was Tolstoy hitting rock bottom and digging deeper.
What is life for? To die? To kill time while waiting to die?
But Tolstoy didn't just sit there. He launched a search for answers so intense, it sent him spiraling into a mental and spiritual meltdown of biblical proportions. Let's find out what happened. So, he went digging for answers. Religion told him, just have faith. Science hit him with, you're basically stardust, so good luck with that. Philosophy handed him a pile of pretentious riddles that led nowhere. None of it clicked, but instead of giving up, Tolstoy shifted his focus. He stopped asking, what's the meaning of life? And started asking, where does meaning actually come from? That's when it hit him.
If the finite has no meaning, it is because the infinite does not.
He realized that to find true meaning, you've got to anchor yourself to something infinite, something way bigger than your own existence. It's like being a lone planet. Out there you're small, insignificant, and let's be honest, something nobody gives a shit about. But lock into a star and suddenly, you're part of something infinite, and it's fucking glorious. But what does a guy do after staring death in the face, and then realizing life isn't meaningless at all? Grab a beer. For Tolstoy, meaning wasn't just some abstract idea. It was a call to action. He didn't just preach it. He tried to ditch his wealth. He wore clothes so simple they'd put a monk to shame, and worked the fields like a peasant. Why? Because he believed the meaning of life wasn't in money or fame. It was in giving a damn about other people.
The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity.
For Tolstoy, this wasn't just philosophy. It was survival. the only thing standing between him and the void that nearly consumed him. He was out there ploughing fields, probably thinking, this right here, this is where the good shit happens. But Tolstoy's experience isn't just some distant drama. It's your problem too. The same questions that nearly broke him. They're baked into the chaos of your modern life. Let me explain. In Tolstoy's time, the search for meaning was slow, quiet, and solitary. Plenty of time to brood by candlelight. Today, it's buried under a mountain of bullshit. Endless scrolling, a billion choices, and a culture that tells you success equals followers and bank digits. That's why Tolstoy's wisdom hits harder now than ever. Back then, his crisis was about finding truth in a world of privilege and rigid tradition. Today, his clarity feels like a survival guide for anyone drowning in noise and searching for something that actually matters, something truly enduring. How?
Happiness is not in things, but in what we do with them.
Meaning isn't about adding more shiny crap to your life. It's about connecting your fleeting, everyday moments to something bigger. It's about building things that last, throwing yourself into actions that leave a dent in the universe, and finding purpose in what doesn't disappear when you're gone. That's how the finite starts to make sense, by tying it to the infinite. And just like that, you're immortal. Stop thinking small. Do something that will outlast you. Stand up for something worth the fight, even if you'll never see the final win. Drop an idea so powerful it starts a damn revolution. Build something that still stands when you're gone. Lay a foundation others can build empires on. Spark a movement that refuses to burn out. Whatever the fuck. Just know that purpose isn't some magical fairy that shows up when you're bored. You've got to grab it, wrestle it, and tie it to the infinite.
Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing themselves.
And that's the secret Tolstoy uncovered. Every choice, every action is a thread. And when you weave those threads into something bigger than yourself, that's when life starts to make sense. That's how the finite ties to the infinite. That's how you can look death in the eye and not flinch.